Catch GurlTauX every day. Follow socials, here's the way.
GurlTauX, every platform come to play. Catch our vibe, don't delay.
Facebook, YouTube streams, scrolling through your daily memes. GurlTauX show, don't miss out. Join the fun and see what GurlTauX is all about. Keeping it real, it's what we do. So tune in now and join our crew. Lights moving through the screen, click subscribe, don't be mean. Upbeat chatter, it's our routine. GurlTauX show, don't miss out. Join the fun and see what GurlTauX is all about. GurlTauX is who we are. Come hang with us on your tablet, phone, or screen. Anywhere GurlTauX can be seen. GurlTauX show, don't miss out. Join the fun and see what GurlTauX is all about. Update stories, laugh and cry. It's GurlTauX, so don't question why. It's the show that you'll adore. Come back daily to get some more. GurlTauX show, don't miss out. Join the fun and see what GurlTauX is all about. GurlTauX is who we are. Come hang with us on your tablet, phone, or screen. Anywhere GurlTauX can be seen. GurlTauX show, don't miss out. Join the fun, see what GurlTauX is all about. GurlTauX, log in now, watch our show. Likes and comments, let them flow. Every day we're on our way. GurlTauX show is here to stay. GurlTauX show, don't miss out. Join the fun, see what GurlTauX is all about.
Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Oh, I have to jump up and turn off that dehumidifier. Hold on. The cat will take over for a second. That thing can be so loud. Yes, that thing can be so loud. It just screams noisy. Anyway, hey, good morning, good morning, good morning. How are you this morning? I am on my own today. My husband is traveling to North Carolina to pick up our grandcubs. They are coming to stay with us for the summer. Dad is in California doing training with the Marines. Mom is staying home with baby and young granddaughter, grandcub girl. Yeah, grandcub, you can't tell if it's a boy or girl, so because we call them our grandcubs. But Ava will be staying home with mom and her brand new grandbaby. She's 3 months old, and her daddy is doing training for the Marines, so he's away from home for a few months, and so mom's going to go out and visit, of course, at some point here in June. And we've got the older grandcubs for the summer, and we're excited that they're going to be here. Excuse me. We have been really working hard on our business, so that's kind of what I'm going to talk about today. And like I said, my husband's away, so I'm left to my own devices. Who knows what trouble I can get in today and tomorrow. I'm sure I can get myself into some kind of trouble. I don't know, but I miss him when he's gone, so we're going to talk a little bit. And I want to continue on a little bit more on a conversation, and it's more related to my business than our business than it is to politics or any of that stuff. But the reason why I did my show the other day about AI and how helpful it is. Now, in our shop, we have a lot of tools. We have a ton of tools. And we use those tools for what they're needed for. We use a saw to cut the wood, and we keep a lot of scrap wood. So we had a bunch of these stacks of pretty thick, 2x6s or 3x6s or whatever the size they were. I guess 2x6s. So they're really thick, but they were, nice, decent sized little square. They could work for a little sign or a plaque or whatever. It was when we were doing the remodel in the shop. And one of these days we'll do a shop tour. But we had this stack of all this scrap wood, and he's like, we need to get rid of the scrap wood and throw it away. And I said, no, I'm gonna cut those on the saw. You got to cut them all four sides. It's not going to go all the way through because they're too thick. So when we cut it, that was fun because if you've ever cut wood that's already kind of bowed just a little bit, when you cut one side, it wants to suck back in. So when you cut the other side, it's wanting to suck in. So it makes the saw want to force back out the other way. So that was fun, being very careful to get those cut. It did work much better if we did just around each side instead of flipping. So we did that, send them through the planer and level them out as best we could. And we're going to make some designs on it for a craft show or an event that's coming up. And that's a tool we use. And the planer is a tool we use when we need it. We need it to flatten wood. We also have what's called a slab jig. So when we have big pieces, like when we do our big resin tables and the river tables, we've got to make sure they're all nice and level and cleaned off so that, nobody wants to sit at a table that's doing one of these on the top where your plate can't sit flat. So you got to level it off. So we have a slab jig for that. That's a tool we use. So also we have a newer tool called AI. And can you use it for a business like we have with our art business, our crafting business? And the answer is an absolutely resounding yes, especially when you are a small business. You don't have a huge amount of budget. It's not like you work for a corporate company that you're like, hey, we need to do this and we need to revamp our website. And here's a proposal from 4 companies that do web design. And, the lowest bid is $28,000 and the other one is $5,000. I did look into, what the cost would be to get what I wanted it to look like. And it was going to cost a couple $1,000s from somebody. That wasn't going to happen. So I tried to figure out how to design a website myself. You have the free tools on web designer things that you can get, like Wix.com and I can't remember what some of them are, but anyway, you can go in and they have like templates and stuff like that. And if you want a really good professional, customized to only what you want, you got to kind of hire a company. That's just one of the things. And so I started messing with AI to do some of what I was talking about. And let me show you real quick, because I am going to do a little tutorial while we're doing this. So hopefully I don't go into some crazy business here. I'm not going to share when I'm logging into something, but I will share how it looks when we're doing it, because it's pretty cool what you can do today versus what you could do a couple years ago. The amount of AI improvements have been so exponential that you can do so many things from graphic design. I do a lot of t-shirt designs. I do a lot of my different art designs. I create different things. Now, not everything I do with is with the AI. Sometimes I use AI to help me give me an idea. Hey, I want to create this. What could it look like? What should I do? And I use Canva as one of my tools. It's one of those things also that some of the other designers or developers or software companies, some of those have to come into a little bit more modern technology, because they're going to be losing clients when they charge like Photoshop. Adobe Photoshop is really expensive, and there's quite a few other things out there that are really expensive. And I have done many an hour watching a YouTube on showing you how to completely remove a background, how to, get it nice and tight and clean up into the things that you want to have done. And now, I'm not saying that all things work correctly or easily, but for the most part, you can change something so easily today compared to in the past. I'm going to give you an example here. Let's do I'm going to share my screen. Let's remove that one. We don't need that. Okay, so we're on Canva right now, and I'm going to make a 12 by 12 page. And in inches. And then what we're going to do is I'm creating a new logo for our nonprofit. Now, I'm going to also go back here, and I'm going to pull this one up. Let's go back to where we were. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and pull that picture up that I just showed. Now, this is a picture done in my paint booth of our lantern that we make. Now, this is what I do when I'm trying to do a shot for our store so that we have a nice picture of it. However, if you guys remember, now let's add a page. If you guys remember, I was making that flyer the other day that we were working on. So I was working on this flyer right here. I hope you can see okay. I might have to increase this visual here. Let's go up a little bit. So not that much. Jeez. Okay, so I'm going to remove some of this here. So I was creating this ad. So I had to do some tweaks on it. I had to ask for certain things. And I wanted the lower lantern to be my lantern. But when I get closer and I look at my lantern, it's not my lantern. It's not even how my lantern looks. I don't know what's with that. I don't know. Is that an eagle? Is it a chicken? Does he have what? That anchor doesn't look like an. Okay, so I had an issue with AI recreating my lantern when I was like that. I want it to be my product. I don't want it to be something else. So these are some of the things you will run into when you're dealing with AI. And it was because this is the image I was giving it. So it looks like there's something there. It looks like there's something here. So you can take this image here and ask it to clear the background. Now, it did a really good job. It's not complete. Now I'm going to make this a little bit smaller so we can get it a bit bigger. Bring it back down. Bring it over a little bit. So this is some of the creating process. Now that I have it that size, I can make it just a little bit bigger. Not much, but just a little bit bigger so I can work on it. And I can go all the way down to the bottom of the page. So I have that big to work on. Now you can go to the eraser and magic eraser. And I always try with the click to see if it's going to identify anything. And if it doesn't, and it only identifies the whole piece. See how it identified that one little thing in the back? That's what I want it to erase. Now I may have to go in and erase that one little spot right there on my own. Now see how it messed it all up? Okay, then we're going to erase that and go back. Now we're going to have to start over because it messed that whole thing up. Okay, so now we have this. Oh, it changed. Okay, sorry, I wasn't sharing that correct screen. So we're going to go back for a second. Okay, so this is the one I want to share. Like I said, this is what our pictures look like when we're doing in our photo booth to put on our store. But I don't want all of that stuff, so I'm going to make it as small as possible so that when it clears the background, it doesn't have as much to work with. One. But as you can see, there's a certain part of that it did not remove. So I want to make sure that it removes all the parts I don't want and keeps all the parts I do want. So I want the eagle, of course. I still keep the mirrored stand because it kind of looks good. So I'm going to go into the eraser and I'm not going to show you guys, or maybe I will, but I used the click. The click identifies different things and you can just click a certain spot, but see, it identifies the whole thing. So I did identify this down here and cleared that, but it messed up the whole thing. So we're not going to do that. We're just going to go to the brush. And now I have to increase this quite a bit so that I can see where I'm going to go. And obviously I want to make that much smaller. And I just want to erase, and what this was the power cord to the little mirrored thing, because it does rotate for when we're taking pictures and stuff. So I want to get rid of that, but I also want to get rid of this back here. So I'm going to make that even smaller, and I'm going to go in here and I'm just going to real quickly, and this is basically very similar to what you used to do on Photoshop, but I do find this a lot quicker. Now I do have what's called a tablet in the shop, and it has a pen to it, so it's a little bit easier to get all these little areas, and then using your mouse with your fingers, sometimes that's really difficult. And if I get too much on the section, I will go back and I will grab the part where it says restore, so I can like fix a couple spots if I need to fix them. And now I'll make this just a little bit bigger and get rid of this little spot right here. I don't need it that big. Man, it made it really big. I don't need it that big. All right, so now we have that section. We can erase it. And in that quick a time, we've removed the background. So now we can add that to our scene. Now, in order to add that to our scene, if you think about it from this perspective, if I did a copy that and I went here and I just pasted it on here and made it smaller so it fit and put it here because I want it to be where the little one is, where her hand is. Now, it's right over the top and it looks horrible. Now, if you can see that and make sure that you got it covered completely, one way that you can do that a little bit is if, see, it's not in the right angle and it's actually wider. So there's some issues with that in order to make that work, in order to make that fit there. So what we're going to do is, and I hope it works because sometimes it doesn't. And that's why you have to do multiple attempts at different things. So we're going to go here and we're going to save this to our computer so that we have a design of this. You don't want to go when you're trying to load it onto Grok or ChatGPT. You can't go up to the highest quality. I am going to do transparent background so that it does not have a background. I'm only going to do that page and I'm going to download it. And then we're going to go to, let's try Grok first because Grok can make images. Now, I don't have a paid subscription to Grok, so I only get 1 or 2 little tries a day. So that's the difference between the two. Okay, so now I'm going to give it a prompt. Can you, and I do use politeness to my Grok and my AIs, can you please swap the small lantern the woman appears to be about to light in my advertisement flyer to the attached image of a stand-alone lantern. Do not change or alter my lantern as it is my product I am selling and needs to remain intact. So I do talk to it like if I was talking to somebody and I was telling them what I wanted them to do, that's really what you're going to do. You're going to tell it, can you please swap the small lantern the woman appears to be about to light? Because there's 2 lanterns in this image. So you have to make it very clear to Grok what you want it to do. You want it to remove the small lantern that the woman appears to be about to light in your advertisement flyer, which you're attaching to the attached image of a standalone lantern. Do not change, alter my lantern as it is my product I'm selling and that I'm selling and needs to remain intact. You do have to give it those descriptions and those prompts because you need it to understand. Don't change anything. And if you just say don't change anything, I did this yesterday. I said, can you swap out the small lantern? Don't change anything. What it did is it changed both lanterns to the same lantern. And it changed a few other things. I did not tell it don't change anything else. Now on this, I said don't change or alter my lantern. Now we have to tell it do not change anything else on the flyer ad. Keep all elements, if I could type, the same. Now, I always like copy because I'm going to do the exact same thing. I don't recreate the wheel every time. In fact, I have a on my computer at the shop, I have a Word document that has a bunch of different prompts I've already made for when I'm going to make something similar, and I can just go grab a prompt I've already made. So I try not to recreate the wheel. I might have to change one word in it, but it's a lot easier than retyping an entire thing. So now we're going to upload the 2 images that we want. And they should be in downloads. Okay, I think this is the image. Yep, that's the image. And then we need this image. Okay, so now it's going to have both images as soon as it gets ready. All right, now we're going to ask it to do this. We'll see how it comes out. And I'm showing this to you in real time, like how long it actually takes to do it, how long it takes to do. Now, granted, I quite often will go and start looking at the other pages. Now, let's see how well they did. Okay. And you can't see it on the screen. It kind of sucks, so I always just download it. Now, I got to share this screen. Let me get you another share because obviously when I switch, I have to change the screen that I'm sharing. Okay, so here is what it did to change my lantern. And as you can see, it did not exactly do what I asked. It made a lantern that looks pretty similar, but it's not my lantern. It literally designed its own lantern. So not super happy with that one. So what we're going to do is we're going to go back here and we're going to go back to our desktop and we're going to share another screen again. And let's see if we can get this one to do it. We're going to go to we're going to go to ChatGPT and we're going to try it. Now, because I've already tried, because I have already tried it on here before, I am going to actually, whenever you're making something and you're not getting the results you want, you can give it another prompt or you can do an edit and you can ask it to fix certain things. But I have found that if you do that too many times, you really, really start confusing what it wants you to do. It starts adding other things or doing other things. So you have to be careful with that. So I'm going to start a new chat altogether. That's Grok. I don't want to be on Grok. I want to be on this page. And you can go to your different designs that you have made. Now, this one turned out pretty good. I will download that one. But it changed my lantern from the blue one, the dress blues, which I didn't mind because I liked this one. However, that's not what I was looking for. I was looking for it to do the other one. So I am going to, let's see, this is image mod. Oh, okay, that's not what I was looking for. Let's just start a new chat here. All right, we're going to create an image. I don't even tell it we're going to create an image. And I'm just going to put that other prompt in. Can you please swap the small lantern the woman appears to be about to light in my advertisement flyer? I'm not going to read the whole thing to you. Keep all elements the same. Do not change or alter my lantern as it is my product. You notice Grok did that. I sell, I'm going to take that from I am. I'm going to remove some words. Sometimes you get too much and sometimes it's too little. I sell these and need it to remain identical to my product. Okay. And then do not change anything else on the flyer. Add. Keep all the elements the same. And maybe there's something else I could say. Not sure. Now, ChatGPT, I have a paid program for. And you can also use Codex on if you have a paid one with ChatGPT. So we're going to go back here and we're going to pull this one. That's the one we want changed. And I often will load them one at a time. And I'll load them one at a time because I want I want it to make sure that it has the right one first and the other one second. Because sometimes it can get confused with which picture you're talking about, even though it can identify that there's only one in there. All right, so now this is creating it. And this is sketching it out. So this is in real time. This is how much time it actually takes to make something using AI. But if you had to pull all these elements, and the thing is, what I like about it, while we're waiting, what I do like about it is it can make it literally look like it's sitting on a table. And sometimes if you put things on, it's two-dimensional, like 2D dimensional. It's all flat. And it doesn't give it depth. It doesn't give structure. It doesn't make it look like it's a scene, where you can get AI to actually make something look like a scene that you're wanting it to look like. Sometimes it gets it completely wrong. I tried a new AI program that I've never used before, and it claims it can make a music video out of a song. And my husband and I built a custom crib for our granddaughter, our grandcub, our newest one. And it is what we call the crib in the clouds. Let me see if I can pull that up real quick. Oh, here we go. Let's see how this one looks. Let me get back to you guys so you guys can see. All right. So this one is the one that it just did. Now I can't fully tell if that looks like my lantern. It does look like my lantern. So again, I have to download it so that I can. I don't want to. I don't want to share. I want to just download. All right, now we're going to pull that up, which means I got to give you a whole nother screen. Hello. Okay. Now I got to share this screen. I wish it would let me go between. I guess I should just do Windows or whatever. I don't know. All right. Now we can show you what this one turned out like. Now let's see. Let's make it a little bit bigger. Let's look at it. And it's still not exactly mine. It's pretty close. It did change this a little bit. Or did it? I just don't see this part of the anchor. I think it might have just, because everything else is correct. It's just missing the other part of the anchor. However, if you can see, there's just a few little tweaks that you can do. And look at how quickly you can make something. Okay, so AI is a tool that you can use with your business. Additionally, like I said, when I first started today, I wanted to redo our website, and I was looking for a way to change my website and improve my website. And I did not want to pay somebody. I didn't want to hire somebody. I didn't want to do all those things. The cost, all that stuff is expensive. And I just didn't want to do that. So what did I do instead? All right. I'm going to share this screen with you real quick. Hello. Oh, I didn't add it. Sorry. Okay. So this is my websites right here, and they're all hosted in one hosting place. Okay. So one of the things that they have here, now I'm going to show you real quick. If you went to this one, I just own the name. I haven't done anything with it. So if you look at this one, it doesn't have anything. It's not being shared. Nothing's going on with it. So if I went to manage it and build a website, you want to do hosting? Yeah, add the hosting, because I haven't done that. Now I'm not going to, because it's going to cancel. Now you can do custom setup, install WordPress, remix or website builder. That's what I'm going to do. And that is their AI version. And I'm just going to tell it what I want it to look like. And I want a website using my branding colors. Purple, pink, and teal. With a patriotic flair. We custom make and sell. We custom make and sell various products. from t-shirts to resin river tables and pretty much anything in between. Our motto is, if you can think it, we can create it. Our signature product is our Marine Corps crucible lantern and memorial lanterns. Now, that's what I've told it I want to do, and that's all I said so far. I gave it just a little bit of background and told it what I wanted to build. Now, I'm not going to actually keep this because I'm not actually wanting a website for my TLC Creative Concepts .online. I held that so nobody could use it. Okay, prompt smarter, right? Like you're talking to a designer. Yes. Full sentences work better. This is giving you prompt information, not correcting mine. You do talk just like you're talking to a designer. So now it's responding with what it's going to create. Now, that's what I started with, even with my TLC Creative Concepts, because I needed to revamp my whole website. So I dumped the old one altogether because the old one was long ago. And I had been changing things little by little and adding products and stuff like that. But it was a wedding event business. So it's been taking me a lot of time to do that. Now that AI is so much better, I was able to recreate our design in like a day by myself using AI. And this is the process it takes when starting from scratch. As you can see, I didn't have anything, and I just told it what I wanted it to do. And what I forgot to tell it is the name of the business. All it knows is the website name is TLC Creative Concepts .online. So and I specifically did not actually tell it what the name of the business is because it knows what the website is. So it should be able to figure out that it's TLC Creative Concepts. We will see if that's what it will come up with, or if it'll ask me. If it has questions, it asks you too. But I specifically wanted to see if it actually works. I can't read what. Oh, that was Steve, I think, on my computer saying that I shared the wrong. Okay. All right. That was our son actually telling him that he to drive safe. He's got a bit of a drive to North Carolina to pick up the boys. Gonna stay the night there with the fam, and then he'll be heading back here tomorrow so that we can have the boys for the summer. I'm really excited about having them. Can't wait for them to be here. They're going to work in the shop with us. Oh, I just was messing with my thing and broke it. Well, I didn't technically break it. I just slid the piece off, so I just need to put it back on. Sorry, everybody. I'm fiddling when I shouldn't be because that's probably obnoxious on the mic, right? it's what happens when you're sitting here watching dots. So anyway, the boys will be helping us with stuff in the shop, and I've got a couple creations that I want them to do throughout the summer that they get to take home with them for the family. And then we're going to make some other things. I know one of our boys is really excited about learning 3D printing and how to do some 3D printing. And I mean, we have, I think 8 3D printers, and we have one of the biggest ones we have is 2 feet by 2 feet by 2 feet. So it's pretty big. You could make an entire, I think it would be really cool. But you could make an entire like suit, like an armored suit or something like that. You could do that. That would be really kind of cool. Maybe we'll work on something like that with, maybe not. That's going to take an awful lot of resin, or not resin, but filament, because that one is a filament printer. We have resin printers, and we have filament printers. So I guess it depends on what we're going to make, because some of that can be really expensive if you're just doodling, when we don't really do that kind of thing. But it would be cool to make like a suit of armor. That'd be kind of cool. We will see, right? Okay. It is still doodling. It is still making it. It's on change number 20 right now is what it says. And what it'll do is it will pick itself images. It'll put things in there, and then you can go back and I'll show you what I did. And I went and told it, hey, I want this picture. I want this picture. And then it can go and pull your products. If you make a spreadsheet, which I did, of all your products and your product details, you can actually put that in, and it can load all of that stuff onto your website or whatever it is you're working on. I did this with Shopify as well. Shopify has AI. So when I was putting products on, I was able to have Shopify help me with the product descriptions and make sure that everything looked and sounded correct, and that it was looking the way I wanted it to look and sound the way I wanted it to sound. It really helps because it also goes through and it detects for you, hey, this is not a good SEO. Here's a better SEO. So it really helps with a lot of things. Like I said, in your shop, we have tools. I have UV lights for when I'm doing UV resin. I make little jewelry pieces. When I'm doing that, I use a UV light. That's a tool. And when I am sanding those things, I use a tool. Sandpaper, that's a part of a tool. You use it with a tool. So using tools to your advantage to make things work for you is a really good way of doing it. And for me as an artist, finding ways to put something into your what's in your head. Like I have a design and I say, okay, I want to make a for instance, I made a memorial lantern for a customer, and he had seen my website with our lanterns, the one you've just been seeing on the screen. He saw our lanterns and he sent me a message through my Etsy store and said, can you make me a lantern, but it is for a Marine, but it's for a memorial lantern. He passed away. It's my wife's dad, and I would like to make a memorial lantern for him. Can you change some of the elements so that it's geared more towards her dad? And what I did is I talked to him for a bit, and I got all the different elements that would mean something about her dad, as in he was a Marine. They lived in Pennsylvania. He was a iron worker. He drove a school bus. And of course, he had been in the Marine Corps. And he was a dad. He loved the Eagles. He's from Pennsylvania. So, there's certain elements right in that conversation that can tell you. And I'm looking for an image of it, hoping I have one on my phone here so I can share it. And he wanted it for Christmas. So I had an idea in my head of what I wanted to make, but how do I get that to relay to a real image, a real picture that I want to create? So what I did is I did use AI. I went in and I gave it the descriptions I wanted, and let me tell you, it came up with the perfect design pretty quickly, pretty right away. And I loved how it came out. It came out so good. And I really loved it. It worked really well. And then I went to a different AI program. So I use multiple different programs. And I did find it. Yay. Okay. Let me share these real quick. I don't know which one I'm going to use real quick, but I'm going to pull it up. And I might just go through these when I pull it up here. Hold on one second. I'm so sorry. Oh, okay. The website is done according to... Okay, so here's some changes that we would have to make. It called it Crucible & Co., not TLC Creative Concepts. So now this is the part that makes it really amazing, because you're able to tell it what you want to fix. Okay, so I'm going to go right here and I'm going to say the company name is TLC Creative Concepts. And that's all I'm telling it. So now it's going to identify that now when you're making the changes, if you like the look, you can make the changes. Now it has blue instead of teal. So I'm going to ask it to change the blue to teal instead. But I'm also going to upload my logo, which will make it figure out real quick. And I'm going to have to end this here in about 5 minutes. We're going to end. Or I think we have 8 minutes or something like that. Okay. So it's changing that color. Let's go real quick and let me find the pictures I just sent. That way I talk about it and I actually send them so you can see it. All right. I got a group of pictures here. Okay, so it did fix that part. Now it says TLC Creative Concepts. Now I'm going to tell it, please change blue to teal. Now let's see how fast it can actually do that. All right. Now, if you look on here, on this website, if I publish it, it'll go live. And I may even do it on, I may even do it live. And it went and picked some just random images, so there's something there, and then we can go through and create the different pieces and parts that we want to create. Now it's still working on the color changes, so it's going to go through. Yep, watch, see, it just, well, it apparently doesn't know what teal is. Audit component colors. Yes, review the component colors files and hard-coded blue Tailwind classes like text blue 500 or, okay. Replace them with teal token classes to ensure consistent brand color use. Here is my logo. Please add and use these branding colors. All right, so we're going to put that in there real quick. And I do have to upload an image. So give me a second because I got to go look for an image real fast. So I will do that real quickly here. There it is. And I do have to upload this real fast. And I got to make it a 1. Yes, I talk to myself when I work, so that's probably helps me talking to you. But I can't share this. Well, I guess I could have shared that screen. So anyway, I'm going to upload my logo to this page here. Okay, so I'm going to upload my logo. There's my logo. Okay, so now I've told it, here's my logo. Please add it to the page and please use my branding colors. So now we'll see how quickly it's able to pull those parts up. All right, let's see if it's still working on that part. All right, now I'm going to share my window so you can see what I'm talking about. So this is what I actually created using my thoughts, and I had it create a image for me, and then I went to another program to make it into a printable design. So this is what I came up with, and it really turned out really good. So I'm going to show you the elements here. Let's pull up a little closer image of it. That one might work, actually. So as you can see, my lantern is still very similar to my other lantern. But I guess I have to download that. Sometimes working with this stuff can be a little bit, especially if you're trying to show people something and you have to change the screen you're sharing. Come on, open. There we go. All right, so hopefully that one I can actually increase the look of it so you can see what it looks like. Okay, so it has his information on it instead. And up here, as you can see, I made the Marine. And he's holding an eagle. He's got the flag, his Marine Corps uniform. It has the cover, all accurate. And I had to hand paint all of this. So the elements that I used is the bell for Pennsylvania, the ironworking because he was in ironworking. I've got the draped American flag over a cross and angel wings because he's passed away. And on the door, instead of it having crucible information, it has a picture of her dad. It has a picture of her. I think that's the right one. Let's see. I have no idea who is. Oh my gosh. I hate when the dogs start barking like that. Especially when we're on, and we're about done with our show anyway. So, so here we go. There are different elements that we did, and there's the Eagles game. There's him from Vietnam and his name on the front, and then a little poem about him on there. And those are the 4 elements, and then the last one with taps. And those were the elements that the family member that I went to wanted on the lantern, and the different elements that we came up with. And some of it was created on AI, but I had to do the rendition over and over until I got what I wanted it to look like. And then when I went to the other program to turn it into a printable 3D design, it took multiple times of doing it. I mean, we're talking probably at least 100 different times to get it to be exactly the way I wanted it. That is one of the biggest takeaways I can tell you with using AI for different elements, different working elements. If you use AI to make the stuff the way you want them to make, you do have to keep in mind that it is not always going to do it exactly the way you want. So you do have to redo it over and over. And again, remember what I said before, if you have to redo it over and over, you might have to start a new chat. For this, a website design, you can go in and tell it to, just fix something. Now, it's not quite catching what I wanted. I have the logo there, but it didn't pick up my colors. It's using them in certain parts, but it really, I don't want the dark blue here. And that's really not purple. I guess it's supposed to be purple, but it's not purple. Those are not my colors. So I would keep telling it to fix those things. However, I'm going to show you real quick what my actual one, which took a little work, but I got it done in one day. I don't know why it's not picking that up. There we go. So this is what I actually came up with. This is what I really wanted. And I loved I didn't mind the blue in the background here, but this took a little bit of work to get the elements I wanted. And I used ChatGPT, Grok, and Codex. And I put different elements together. So it actually has our store creations, and there's Steve and I working in the shop. Yes, it was a pose picture. We don't usually work with a cowboy hat on. But you have all the different elements. And then if you want to shop our creations, that's one of the things I'm working on right now, is getting our shop actually up. It's not there yet, but it's .store, so that will be up hopefully soon. It's just not working yet. It says 48 hours. But you can go in if you want to. I've got to add more pictures of the different things that we've made. Where did I must not have published it. I had added things, so it's probably on the other computer down below, and I didn't. But you can go to a custom order, and that's right on there, so that you can put in your description of what you want us to make and email it to us, and there you go. So this is what I actually was looking for when I created the other one. Now, I can tell that one probably to go and look at my store. I don't know. I haven't had to do that, but that is how you can use AI as a tool. It is another tool in your toolbox. Use it to help you create. Use it to help you come up with ideas. It can help brainstorm with you over ideas of what you want to create. It can also go and check if you create products to sell. It can actually do a deep dive on what is popular and what's selling right now. So I think it's important for you to keep in mind that what you might want to sell and what you might make doesn't mean that people are looking for it. And if you are such a small niche that, that's why we create so many different things, because one part of it's because I like doing something different. I don't want to do the same thing every day. To me, that gets repetitive, and I don't want to just do everything repetitive. So doing it where I am actually able to create something different each day, I enjoy much better. I like that much better, and it makes me happy. It also ends up making our customers happy. But because we work in conjunction with our nonprofit for veterans, I really wanted this to be a workshop with a mission, and I wanted it to show that in our website. So I used tools that I have, part of the AI, but then also other parts was my putting the work in to make it work and make it sound good and make it look good and make sure that we have all the elements we want in there, and make sure that it's a site that really explains who we are and what we're doing. Anyway, that is it for our show today. Again, use the tools, use them wisely. Don't just do what it says. Push it a little bit beyond its limits sometimes. And the other takeaway I can give you is patience. You absolutely have to have patience when you're using AI, because it's not, and there's times I get so frustrated because it's not understanding what I'm saying, and I have to walk away. Stop, go do something else, go sand something, take some aggression out, do something else, and then come back to it. And then maybe I have a better prompt or a better thing. And like I said, if it's not getting what you want, go in and start fresh. Start a new chat and start fresh so that it's getting a new element of what you want it to do. I wanted to talk about this a little bit more today because I was able to create that website yesterday. It took me most of the day, and little tweaks and little tweaks and tweaks and tweaks and tweaks. And I pulled up images that I wanted to use because I liked, and I'm going to share real quick and then we're going to go. But I really wanted the About Us to have us in it. And I really wanted the main page to really talk about what we do with our business because it works in conjunction with our nonprofit. So I wanted to have that element shown, and I want it to be very clear that that's part of it. I mean, even, I don't know if any of you noticed, but 22 in the middle is what we call it right here. 22 in the middle, honoring the 22 veterans lost to suicide each day. And our phone numbers literally have 22 in the middle on both of them. And they're very similar phone numbers because they work in conjunction. We work together. So we wanted it to really, really have an element of what we do mixed with what we create and how that's done. So anyway, there you have it. And have a great day. And we will see you on Monday. I do have a little announcement to make as far as our time change. We are changing our time to 6 p.m. Monday through Friday, Central Standard Time. So that's 7 o'clock in Eastern Time and 4 o'clock in Pacific Time and 5 o'clock in Mountain Time. We are changing this, and here's the reason. In case you're like, why are you changing the time again? Well, we're changing the time because when we start at 9 o'clock, I'm not a morning person. If you didn't see my coffee cup, this bitch doesn't do mornings, okay? But I get up, get going, get busy. We get down here, we get the show going. The show's an hour, and then we get up and we do a couple little cleaning in the house and get breakfast for mom and get the animals fed and all that. And then we end up diddly-daddling around the house working on little things like the laundry and this thing and that thing. And next thing you know, it's 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock before we're ever getting over to work. And we're supposed to be at work in the morning. So I said, I think we need to get up, get our coffee, get the animals fed, get mom fed, get things taken care of at the house quickly so that we can be over at the shop working by 9:30. And then we end by 5, 6 o'clock. I'm like, let's just end at 5 o'clock, get over here and get our show started by 6 o'clock. Dinner can be cooking and we can eat right after we are done with the show. So that is why we are changing to 6 p.m. So we will see you next Monday at 6 p.m. See you then. Until then, have a great weekend. Bye.
Thank you for watching GurlTauX live broadcast, which airs weekdays at 9 a.m. Central Standard Time. Don't forget to send in your Dear Margaret questions. Then join us for our opinion-based answers. We love having you. Thanks for taking the time to be with us tonight. Don't forget to like, follow, subscribe, and share with your friends. We'll see you tomorrow. Good night. Good night.
Good night. Or good day.